This time of the year, my work is simply flat out. From writing recipes, to practicing my facial expressions, to getting my soufflés enlarged. Speaking of soufflés, I think I might treat myself to my rich, authentic, dark orange chocolate soufflé. It's ridiculously simple and really elegant. So simple, in fact, a deformed child could make it. All you need is a few ingredients. The rest is child's play. Okay, to start with, we're gonna have 2 luscious free-range eggs. Not the caged eggs, but the organic free-range eggs. So the chickens are allowed to roam around before they're slashed to death. Now the first step is to crack the eggs and let them slide into the bowl, into a slip of heaven. Now, I do it a different way to most people. I do it the way my granny taught me. So, this is how it's done. First of all, you get the egg and you crack it onto the table and you let it slide into the bowl and you add a few bits of shell and then you do another one like this. And this time, make sure you get all the droppings off the table for extra flavor. Now, the secret to adding shells into the mixture is to get that fine, sort of gritty texture that everyone loves in their soufflé. Anyway, now from this we have to add a bit of this special organic Parmesan infused olive oil. Now olive oil is very light and healthy, and with the Parmesan it just goes absolutely splendidly. So add just a few splashings of it, like so. Actually, might need a little bit more. Okay, now from there I'm going to add the cumin. Now I like to add a little bit of cumin, not too much because it makes the flavour a bit too strong, and we don't want too much strength that the next day when someone's doing a bit of a shite, it's going to come out the wrong way and sting their asshole. Now this ingredient, oh, I just simply adore this ingredient. It's a combination of 35% cayenne pepper and 65%, well, I think it's Chinese spices, but I don't like to talk about Chinese people. Anyway, I have a special name for this. I like to call it the dried royale menstruation. And that's simply because it looks like someone's bled from their fenoir. And it's been dried out, cooked, roasted, and then added into its beautiful soufflé. So I'm just gonna add a few squisms of this dried menstruation just to remind you of the fertility of the woman as it floats into your soufflé and rises to your senses. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to give this a slight whisk, then a little punch, and then a little... Now, I normally wouldn't expel saliva into such a recipe, but it appears that my husband's inviting some guests over for supper, and I don't particularly like them, nor him, and I hope they all die and I inherit all their money. Anyway, another extremely grossly important ingredient are these hot rocks. Now they're called hot rocks because if you put them on any body part, like the genitalia, it simply gives it a ugh feeling. So just a brushing of this, thank you. I'm going to ladle in some oil. Lovely, 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 lovely. Now I'm going to add some beautiful white wine. Oh. I have this, I'm not particularly thirsty, so just add some of your drinking wine, any wine, doesn't matter. Now, just look at the bubbles in this. It just makes me feel like floating on a cloud and letting myself go to my senses and having an affair. Oh, anyway, just cut that out. I'm now going to add the milk. Now, of course, it's not low-fat milk, it's full-fat milk. What the hell do you think this is, people? It's not bloody Jenny Craig. Okay, now, there we go. Now, just about a fistful of this, well, it's Turkish delight with an added of infused olive and cumin oil with a squism of what I like to call baking powder. Now, just a nice squish it in your hands, like melt it in your hands, and then just let it drop in like so. Actually, I might add it all. Beautiful. Now, the final ingredient to this recipe is dark and orange chocolate. Now, It wouldn't be a souffle without this. And some people may say, why not add the orange rinds? Well, I say to them, I'm not healthy, I'm a fat bitch. Not too much, maybe just say this much. And that's only because I can't really afford anymore. So just break it up roughly. Don't worry about a little melting. Now we're going to give it a little whisk. It appears it's a bit full. It's like ginger. It looks a bit like a curry, but trust me, it's so much more delectable than that. And just use your hands to infuse it. And become, look at my face. And become this souffle. Oh, it's a bit runny, isn't it? I might add a bit more icing sugar. Now from here, it's so simple. I mean, the hard part's already gone, unless your husband's in here banging you. Anyway, I'm just gonna get out 2 ramekins. Now, not ordinary ramekins, but they are greased ramekins artificially. And we're just going to sort of pour a little bit into each one, not too much. And don't let it spill over because that's wasting this delicious goodness. Now whack them in the oven like so. And let it sit for about 40 minutes before turning the oven on, and then preheat it to 200 degrees and then let them cook. Anyway, the most important thing when you close the oven door is to flick the hair, just to show that you're a feminine woman, embracing yourself in the life of a duchess, cooking and cooking away until you let yourself explode with excitement. Oh wait, about that. Oh, it appears it's done. Nothing quite like delicious recipe. Oh, it appears to come out absolutely gorgeously. Look at them, so light and fluffy, makes me want to have a child. Oh, anyway, halfway through cooking I added my authentic chocolate sauce to the ingredients, so it's now come out absolutely gooey and voluptuous, mesmeric if I do say so myself, but a few finely touches just for my Nigella experience. I like to add another drizzle of olive oil, you know. Actually, that's not enough, is it? It appears I've used a whole bottle of oil for this recipe. Oh well. And now I like to make it a little bit runny so it melts down the throat, a little bit more of my wine. With my saliva makes it absolutely... Oh, just look at them. Look at those babies. They are just absolutely fantastic-miracle. So during the cooking, I accidentally consumed 2 bottles of wine and 6 cartons of condensed milk. So I'm not very hungry at the moment, although I could fit. Anyway, the fact of the matter is I'm going to have to give them to someone else. Now, I would give them to my dogs, but I'm afraid they'd get food poisoning. So, Bruno and Mimi, my children, I'm sure they'll be fine to swallow. Bruno! Mimi! Delicious after-school treats are awaiting you! It appears they're on their way. Fucking kids. Anyway, is the camera on? Fuck! Anyway, that's all we've got time for this episode of Nigella. But before I go, I'd just like to let you all know that herb gardens are extremely important to a civilized cookery home. So I'm just going to... Usually at this time I'm stuffing my face, but my freaking husband put a padlock on the fridge. So I'm just going to show you my herb garden today. Paparazzi! Paparazzi! Get away! I'm not interested! Organize an interview! Paparazzi! Please, schedule an interview! Paparazzi, please! I'm not interested, please! Please! Please, I'm not interested right now! Please, I have a lovely husband and children to attend to! Oh, paparazzi! Paparazzi! Oh! That's where my toy went. Bye.